these articles really where I wish we was all talking about, the Brazilian links we could be getting with obviously the addition of Douglas Luiz, sorry. Still haunted by the ghost of David Luiz and all the others. But yeah, I mean, while it's frustrating, I'm not really vexed about not signing Douglas Luiz. I would have taken him. I would have loved for him to sign for the club. I think he's a good player. I'd say the one that got away from me would have been Rafinha. As I said, it was always dream chasing. His second choice was Chelsea after Barcelona, but that would have been one for me. I would have loved Pedro Neto. Would have been happy with Telemans clearly, but I'd say for me, Rafinha was the one, man. I think it could have been very wavy if I'm honest with you, but that's circa sometime, man. I'm gonna have to just get on with it. Can't win major honors on just luck alone. Amen. I'm questioning the 32 dropped on Fabio Vieira. Hope he comes good. I'm not, because I think he'll be a good player, but I'm just questioning why there wasn't a pure centre mid. Keep your thoughts coming in, people. As you lot can see there, Aubameyang has signed for Barcelona. He's underwent his medical. He signed for them. Probably going to be poetic justice seeing him score against us, people. Hopefully that's not a thing. But yeah, Ainsley Maitland-Niles joined Southampton on an initial loan, people. Household who has said there's an option to buy people. And he's also said on Ainsley is a good point in his career with a lot of experience already, but he's also still a young player with potential, and he is someone who can definitely help us. I think he fits in well with us and can develop his game even further during his time here. He can also play in different positions, which is always a good thing, and I'm pleased to welcome him as part of our squad. He has 12 months remaining on his deal, but we have heard we've taken out the option to extend that, people. So yeah, hopefully he can build on the experience. He can cement a team in a place in their team. They can buy him permanently. He can show his versatility and all of these sort of things. But yeah, man, we had 3 bids rejected today for Douglas Luiz. Aston Villa reject 3rd bid from Arsenal for Douglas Luiz. So while it was great we did that, we left it too late. Arsenal's chase for midfielder Douglas Luiz appears to be over after Aston Villa rejected a 25 million offer. The Athletic understands. Their latest offer was Arsenal's 3rd bid of transfer deadline day. Arteta is keen on bringing in a midfielder following injuries to Thomas Partey and Mohamed El Nene. It's understood Luiz, who remains in Birmingham, and you saw Arsenal fans trying to chase troll and find vans and things, and it came out they were trolled by Villa fans. Apparently he was on the M-way en route to Arsenal. This is why I told you lot, just watch when players are holding shirts. It's understood Luiz, who remains in Birmingham rather London, took part in a recovery session with Aston Villa this morning. Obviously, earlier today, we made a 2nd bid. Obviously, with that being said, earlier today, we made a 1st bid, people. Gerrard seemed like there was going to be, he was kind of resigned to losing him. Aston Villa have issues in midfield of their own, and they've brought in a midfielder as well as kept hold of this one. So we'll have to see how that develops. But this is someone that had interest from Roma, Atletico Madrid, Chelsea, Liverpool, and Arsenal. Apparently, Liverpool tried to get involved. So yeah, it's another case of like Rafinha and Pedro Neto and Douglas Luiz agree in personal terms, but there's more than that needed to just get things done. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards, people. How much did Arsenal spend in the summer transfer window? Obviously, we bid 55 for Rafinha, 25 for Douglas Luiz, a decent amount for Lisandro Martinez, but these moves and allegedly tried to make headwinds on Pedro Neto, but none of these things happen. So yeah, good additions. I mean, we're shameless, man. I'm trying to include Saliba as a new signing. Word to Wenger like a new signing. That's a loan thing, brethren. We spent 120 million. I do think the squad's improved, but I do think we're short. And yeah, obviously we've picked up loan fees for several players. Balogun going out on loan gets a loan fee, like Pablo Mari, like Runnison, like Norton Coffey, like Pepe, like Tavares, who like Balogun's doing quite well on loan, like Patino. So yeah, we picked up some loan fees. Some of them, with the excluding the young players, where the more first teamers are concerned, we've foregoed some of their wages. Pardon me, which is decent. We've obviously got where Lacazette's wages are off the books, Leno's, Bellerin's. We've got certain resources that can be deployed towards giving that to players that we see as being part of our squad. For instance, Saliba, Martinelli, and Saka. Rumours of signing a new deal, but I do think we've definitely upgraded the squad with Zinchenko and Jesus, but I wouldn't quite say we're significantly upgraded. I don't think we've brought in that trailblazing centre mid. really that takes us up several levels. So it is what it is. 120 million spent again. Money's been spent. Arteta already. Money's been spent again. Like last window, we've made our bed. We've got to lie in it, and hopefully it's a positive end to the season. But we've only played 5 games. Our 6th game is in a couple of days against Man United. We're gonna have to just see how it goes, people. If we come out of Safari for a second and dip back over to Google Chrome, as we already know, as I've said, Southampton have confirmed the signing of Ainsley Maitland-Niles, people. So on loan. So yeah, see what he brings to the table. I think he fits in well with us and can develop his game even further during his time here. He can also play in different positions, which is always a good thing. And I'm really pleased to welcome him as part of the squad. So we'll be cheering on Ainsley. Bellerin returns home to Barcelona. Obviously, Bellerin via La Masia, basically our academy prospect. He arrived as a 16-year-old boy, he leaves as a 27, 28-year-old man. Apparently, he signed on a 1-year loan deal, people. So it wouldn't surprise me if, he either signs a new deal and it goes for a small fee to Betis, because apparently Barca trying to get Fekir, so there's dodgy dealings there, really. Or he stays there for a year and then he gets his dream move back to Betis, but it could be a lot worse. He's ended up at Barca. His agent's been speaking. I can't find his comments, but his agent's been speaking, and he said Bellerin's made a great financial sacrifice, really, to get his contract tore up with Arsenal and make the move to Barca. He could have kept Bellerin, but he's earning 100 grand a week, and he's our 3rd choice right back. He's played no part of the season. He's behind Cedric, who was on the bench and isn't good enough. Them two are behind Ben White, who can play right back and has played right back significantly at other clubs and a couple of times here. But if we look at it, Ben White was brought as a centre back. A centre back is ahead of them. Tomiyasu is ahead of them as well. And Saliba can play there. I wouldn't play him there, but can play there as well. I said he's there for free. But as it said here, he's terminated his contract with Arsenal and he's joined them. Obviously, that's helped them out a bit. So yeah, man, he's made in La Masia. He's went and done his thing, and he actually returns as a Spanish international. So best of luck over them sides, Bellerin. On Bellerin, Mikel Arteta said we today say goodbye to Hector and we thank him so much for his loyalty and commitment to Arsenal Football Club. During his 11 years with Arsenal, Hector won 3 FA Cups and made nearly 250 appearances. Fly your wings as high as they can, Bellerin, man. Plant as many trees as you want, my guy. I wish you win every title available at Barca. Such a huge contribution to the club. I'm privileged to have played in the same squad as Hector for 3 seasons, wearing the Arsenal shirt and sharing many great memories on and off the pitch together. We thank you, Hector, and we wish you and your family all the best for your return to Barca. Yeah, man. Just a shame we couldn't sell him like with Ainsley Maitland-Niles. I wish we could have sold them when their names actually had a bit of clout behind them, really. So it is what it is in that regards, people. And yeah, 239 appearances, 9 goals, 29 assists, 3 FA Cups and 3 Community Shields. Fullback union, fly eye Hector Bellerin, man. The best goal I think I've seen you score for me would be that one against Liverpool at the Emirates, when I think you, Alexis, Ozil, we were just moving mad as a team. It's a shame Bellerin didn't fulfill his potential, but it is what it is in this life, man. So yeah, you've gone. Ainsley's joined Southampton on a season-long loan, people. Again, we wish him all the best and on all of their endeavors. Tim Akinola of our youth academy has joined Chesterfield on loan. Our 21-year-old has signed for Chesterfield. It's probably unlikely he makes the grade. Pretty telling that he's a similar profile in terms of being a tenacious midfielder to players that are injured, but that tells you he's nowhere near the first team. And Matt Smith might even get opportunities in the first team, and I hope he can and take opportunities. But if I was him, I'd have probably sought pastures new, because in the best case scenario where Arsenal players rush back or we don't feel an even more knock-on effect with injuries, minutes might be limited. Miguel Aziz is headed out on loan and joined the UDIB for. He joins Marcelo Flores in going to Spain. That's it. This is his second loan after going to Portsmouth, people. So I hope he can do well there. Obviously, he is an England youth international, but is of Spanish heritage, so he probably knows the language in that. I do think his game is suited either more to Holland or Spain, so he does have to come back and play in England if he is to have a future here, but wish him all the best, man, like with all of them. And like I said, these lot should be going and playing proper men's football. They're not going to care that you're Miguel Aziz academy prospect. They're going to hear Arsenal midfielder, England international, Spanish heritage. Long hair, well, not anymore, but you're going to have to do that. So go and do your thing, man. Link up with Yunus Musa. How far is IB from Valencia? I don't know. Your brethren. So link up with him on your off time. But yeah, hopefully our 19-year-old can do well out there really. And James Oliyinka has joined Cheltenham Town on a permanent loan. People again, 21 years of age, hasn't got a snowball's chance of making it at first team level for Arsenal Football Club. So especially keep it moving. Smash the like button, people. So yeah, it is what it is in that regards. Once again, Douglas Luiz move didn't bang. Arsenal appeared to give up on bid to sign Aston Villa midfielder Douglas Luiz. The Athletic said we did. So I'm trying to, you know, scroll through, but this was saying we felt there wasn't enough time for a medical. We had a £20 million bid rejected this morning. We had a £23 million bid then rejected, and then apparently there was a slightly more improved offer. Apparently Atletico had offered 20 million, sorry, for Luiz, and apparently they wanted closer to 30 million when Atletico did, people. So yeah, it is what it is. So they've kept hold of their man and got Dendonka. It is what it is. We're in issues. Arteta said on Wednesday, obviously it has an impact because Thomas Partey is injured. We are a bit short in that position. We have Sambi Lokonga and Xhaka who can play there, but we're looking at options in the market. The club has been super supportive to keep improving the squad and the team as we can. If the right player is available and we can do it, we will try. So yeah, it is what it is. Arsenal have also showed an interest in Palmeiras midfielder Danilo, who is impressing in Brazil, but sources on both sides of that potential deal have insisted he will not be moving to England in this transfer market window. Sorry, a January move is currently regarded as more likely. So hopefully we could do a thing there. If I'm honest with you. So in fact, it doesn't really matter if there's any other additional transfer news, does it, people? Because unless you're agreeing things and telling us from now till Jan, it's a bit irrelevant. So started well, ends on a sour note. Good moves were done, but a lot to be desired. So yeah, it is what it is. I can't imagine there's any other meaningful Arsenal transfer news or anything to say, people. Really, there can't be. Like the transfer market's done now. I have to put up with it. Hopefully Saka can sign a new deal and we can beat United, and there can be something for Arsenal fans to be positive about, because it doesn't appear that this is the thing, people, really and truly. What else is being said? Might as well see some of these articles, man. Edu inadvertently has admitted Arsenal's summer transfer failure amid Douglas Luiz rejection. The budget point in hiring one or two players in January. The squad was not prepared to absorb two players. We needed to rebalance the squad. Maybe next season we can go to one or two players, and technically he did do that with Jesus and Zinchenko. Today we find a much better. Sorry, he said. Yeah, so he said today we find a much balanced squad. Our planning has already been done, and it has already reached our owners. It's a matter of step by step how we are going to finish the season and put into plans the planning that I'm very excited about. How? The Champions League and Europa League both require a much larger squad because the number of games is much bigger. Do we have that? If we can afford it financially and we don't have to do the turnaround in the squad that we had to, what I want is 22 outfield players and 3 goalkeepers. A lot of things have been put into place, and that takes so much time. I'm also expecting a busy summer, which it was, and ain't we got a squad of 23? So we're gonna have to see how that develops, people. Arsenal, pardon me, explored move for 86 million forward at the Emirates. And what happened to Yeremy Pino? Obviously, he left that one there late in the day. It seemed like Emery was open to letting him go. Mudryk, obviously, Romano has indicated that Arsenal did indeed explore a move for the Ukrainian flyer. We were actually linked with Noah Lang today, which thank God it didn't happen. And that contact had even been made with the players' reps. I think this is the problem there's going to be. He is super expensive. Arsenal explored this possibility and they had contact with his agent last week. Let's see if they decide to try for him. But it's not easy. It's absolutely not easy. All right. So I don't really know what that is, but it is what it is. So just going to have to get on with it, aren't we, people? We're just going to have to get on with it. What was I going to do? See what the Twitter people are saying. Not that there's anything that they could be saying, folks, but let's see exactly what's being said. What's the other one I was gonna do? You can still get top four. It's just gonna be harder than it had to be. But hey, it's crazy, man. So yeah, man, that move is done. Apparently, Eddie spoke with Luiz yesterday after the game. Villa upset with that reason for hardballing, but surely they're cutting off their nose to spite their face in that regards. It doesn't make sense to do that. 11 a.m. UK time. Curtis Shaw will be on my channel. Big up Curtis. Make sure I can't imagine none of you are, but make sure you're following him on his socials, much less his YouTube channel. He said, Telemans to only for Arsenal to not agree a fee with Leicester. A lot of hard work trying to get as much information as possible, building relationships, a real kick in the teeth. Arsenal will try again in January and then again when free agent. So hopefully, but it's irrelevant. Douglas Luiz is willing to force for a move to Arsenal, according to someone close to the deal. So maybe Arsenal didn't negotiate well enough. Maybe he didn't force his hand. Aston Villa won that game of chess, really, didn't they? So it's a bit irrelevant, really. So yeah, the Douglas Luiz deal is dead. Apparently, Douglas Luiz agent is trying to make the move to Arsenal happen until the end. So he tried, but it's a myth, man. Kai Jarutkin, who obviously has worked with Arsenal before, and isn't he technically Edu's agent or was? So let's hope so. Apparently, Liverpool failed in an attempt to get him as well. So yeah. Apparently, Arsenal have a sell-on percentage clause if Barcelona sell Bellerin in the future. That's decent. But how did he terminate his contract and negotiate that? Is that a thing in terms of good faith? I don't know, man. So yeah, man. There's nothing really to say other than Douglas Luiz move didn't bang. So yeah, man. That's where that is, isn't it? Like I don't want to say last transfer stream because you never know football's ever